What is up, Heffas and friends? Welcome to another episode of Java and Journeys with Jillian. If you're new here to this channel, hey, what's up? How are you doing? My name is Jillian and welcome to another caffeinated adventure. First of all, Heffas, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays all around to Heffa Nation. Y'all, it is Christmas Day and you already know, I was like, I'm not doing a lot of cooking. Thanksgiving took it all out of me. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be a crazy person and bring my butt over here to Disney Springs. Heffas, we are actually going to do a little bit of an Asian twist here and go to Morimoto Asia to indulge in some good Asian eats. We're also going to make our way over to Gideon's and see what their December menu is giving. And also check out some other treats. I'm kind of hoping to also go to the Ganachery and get some hot chocolate and just hang out, y'all. The weather feels really great today, being here in Orlando, Florida. So let's go ahead and get the Christmas festivities on and poppin', Heffas. Welcome to this journey. Y'all, it is booked and busy here at Disney Springs. And like I said, I'm a crazy person and decided to come out here, but only because, y'all, I did not celebrate the Christmas holidays as traditionally as some other people do, and especially around the world. I was like, I'm absolutely not cooking this year. And I especially know in places like the UK, Christmas dinner is such a big thing. But y'all, like, it's just too close. How do you feel about that, Heffers? Like, Thanksgiving, Christmas, especially here in the US, I'm just like, listen, pick a holiday to do all the cooking, and then the other one, relax. And what is more relaxing than being out in Disney Springs on a major holiday? Oh my God, y'all, look at the Gideon's line. This is insane. So I was actually going to walk up to see if there's a virtual queue, and it does not look like there is one. It looks like it's just a regular line, which is a little bit surprising. And I have some time before my reservations at Morimoto Asia are going to be ready. So you know what we're gonna do, y'all? You wanna go to the Ganachery? All right, y'all, I was talking to my co-producer. We're just gonna go ahead and go to the Ganachery, y'all. Now, you may be unfamiliar with the Ganachery. They have some really great chocolate treats like truffles, chocolates. It's all like house-made, the bougie vibe that we all know and love. And I also need to check out with my boo Joffrey. Actually, let's go see what Joffrey has going on. And then we'll make our way over to the Ganachery, because y'all already know the last time we spoke, Joffrey and I were beefing, and y'all, I didn't even mention this in my intro. I need to finish my coffee passport for the holiday season here at Disney and get my little prize. And Disney Springs is the last stamp that I need to get. So, y'all, I think we'll do both. Maybe we'll do the Ganachery and we'll go ahead and head over to Joffrey. Y'all, this is so impromptu. I'm just here to try to have a good time in these busy Disney Springs streets. And I do not recommend this, y'all. Do not come out here unless you have to, because it is wild. All right, Heffa. So here at Joffrey's, they have the white chocolate gingerbread latte and the peppermint mocha latte. And if you want some spirits to put you in the holiday spirit, they also have some signature cocktails over here. So they have a chai latte, the espresso martini, which actually isn't too bad. I've had that before, the tea breeze and twisted blackberry. Y'all, I don't really know what to get, so I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get in line. So we're gonna switch things up a little bit. We're gonna actually go to Joffrey so we can finish our stamp, finish our holiday passport caffeinated journey. And then after dinner, head over to Gideon's as well as the Ganachery to get the signature hot chocolate, because y'all, it is like the best hot chocolate. It's so delicious and rich. And so my co-producer and I are talking, I'm like, you know what, that actually makes sense for like an after dinner thing. So let's just go ahead and get our coffee on, shall we?
Oh yeah, it's always the same ones that are listed on the main menu.
All right, y'all, so it's not too busy over here, which is great. Oh, y'all, look, they have a gingerbread castle coffee. That looks good. All right, y'all, we're actually going to go ahead and do the Santa's thumbprint cookie latte. And that's going to be with almond and raspberry syrup. So that sounds really tasty. And of course, they have some baked treats over here. Y'all, we are here for the caffeine. You see, I'm trying to be conscientious about my calories right now and what else I'm going to be eating. Y'all, sometimes you got to keep that in mind. So I'm trying to save it up, honey. All right, friends, and here's our little luggage tag that we received because we finished our passport card. And here's the back of it here. So this is nice, y'all. So you could probably use like an erasable marker and just like, you know, make any type of edits that you need to, but this isn't too shabby. And friends, while we're waiting on the coffee, in addition to the gingerbread castle, they also have this holiday blend, which looks really interesting. So this one has like notes of berries, plum, and this is a lemony finish, which I think is interesting. All right, Heffas, so we have our Santa's thumbprint cookie here with that raspberry drizzle on top. Now, for those of you all who have been following my caffeinated adventures, getting my holiday coffee passports throughout the parks, it has been a little less than disappointing. So it is the Christmas holiday. Today is the day. So let's see if Joffrey is going to be disappointing us, or is this going to be a really nice holiday gift? Let's give her a little stir. All right, she's been stirred. Let's give it another try. Yeah. Okay, y'all, so I had to stir it up because I could taste a little bit of that raspberry, but I don't want to get too much of that syrup, you know, in one slurp. But y'all, this one is probably the most balanced one that I have had. You can taste the raspberry, you taste the coffee. So this one is probably, out of all of them that I've had, the best one. And not to say that I'm in love with this, it's good. Like, I actually feel like it's not really sweet. I taste raspberry. I get a little bit of like that cookie flavor, but it's mostly like the raspberry fruit. See, y'all, this is not bad. So Joffrey did their best. You know what I'm saying? They didn't quite get us the gift that we needed or that we wanted, but they still got us something that was nice. And it's always the thought that counts during the holiday season, right? No? Okay. Yeah, I feel you on that. Oh, now that we have our little coffee drink, I'm just going to kind of meander around because we have another 40 minutes before our reservations at Morimoto. So what I'm going to do is just hang out, try to survive these crowds, Heffas, and I'll check back in with you all when we are ready to get our food on. All right, friends, now we are about 10 minutes away from our reservation, so we're going to go ahead and check in. And I figured I'd show you all the views because it is, like I said, nuts out here. And again, y'all, I'm not going to hold you. I do not recommend coming out here when it is the day of a major holiday or when you're getting close to a major holiday, because Disney Springs is wild. Y'all, I'm a local and I have time today. So that's the only reason why I'm like, you know what, for Morimoto, I will brave the crowds, all right? Because Morimoto Asia is that girl. And if you happen to miss one of my last videos, this was like maybe like a couple of months back or so, Heffas, check that out at my like first visit at Morimoto. I think this is actually my second one. But I would say in terms of Disney Spring restaurants, Morimoto Asia is S tier to me. And there's only a few of them that I would consider S tier. There's a few that I consider A tier, and then so on and so forth. But like, baby, always feel free to engage with me in the comments if you find yourself coming out here to Orlando, or even if you're a local, but you don't come out to Disney Springs that often. Now, I haven't been to like all the Disney Spring restaurants, but I've been to a handful of them. Your girl knows a thing or two. And these restaurants are not cheap, baby. Even if you go to quick service, right? I mean, yes, it's a little bit more affordable than your traditional table service restaurants. But y'all, it's all expensive. And how you spend your coin matters, and I'm not gonna hold you. And everyone's preferences are going to be so different when it comes to a lot of the restaurants. Like, for example, there are some people who are obsessed with Boathouse. I don't understand the obsession. Not that Boathouse is awful, but like, I just think it's okay. Like for me, Boathouse is probably like more like a B tier restaurant, but this is my opinion, okay? Some people would disagree with me, but y'all, I'm gonna always keep it 100 in terms of my POV and how I see things based upon my experience. And of course, stuff is always subject to change, right? I'd be more than happy to go back to some of the restaurants that I'm like, I feel iffy about and try something else. But y'all, typically I stick with the restaurants that I know are really good because this ish is not cheap. And I am not trying to spend money retrying and retrying restaurants that for me didn't knock it out of the park or give me a good impression. And again, that's not to say I wouldn't go back to Boathouse. I absolutely would to try something else. But I think in general, if ever you have a question, I'll tell you my perspective, because a lot of the restaurants here at Disney Springs can be somewhat gimmicky, right? And very much like tourist focus. And that's not what you want. Like, even if you are tourists coming out here, you still want something good to eat, right? So don't hesitate, reach out to your girl. I'm always more than happy to give recommendations. You know, we are actually passing by Cook's. We're over by Raglan Road. And we are getting closer to Morimoto. And then the plan will be Heffas. After we leave Morimoto, we'll probably stand in line for Gideon's if they still have a line. If they've swapped over to the virtual queue, we'll get into the virtual queue. And then, you know, we're going to hit up the Ganachery as well, because like I said, their hot chocolate is so good. And y'all, you know, it's like in the upper 70s right now. Perfect weather for hot chocolate. Like, what the H, y'all? The weather here has been crazy. There was like a couple weeks back, there was a cold front. It was really chilly here for Florida, y'all. And then it's hot again. And then there's supposed to be another cold front that's coming through. And I'm like, the cold front should be here right now. It is December. It is Christmas Day. Y'all, I want cold weather on Christmas Day. I know some of y'all out there are like, no, we're visiting Florida. We do not want it. This is just me, y'all. All right, and we made it over to Morimoto Asia. Let's go ahead and check on into our reservation. Friends, we are seated and now we're just taking a look at the menu. So let me show you all a bit of the cocktails here. Now, you all know what is Java and Journeys without a bit of Java, and we try to get all the Java that we can, my friends. They have this Sleepless in Sapporo, but y'all, it's 19, and I feel like for what's in it, it's just Absolute and Kahlua and cold brew. I don't know that I'm gonna get that because I just feel like for the components, that's a little bit pricey. I am actually eyeballing, y'all, the Old Fashioned, also the Mango Sticky Rice sounds interesting, and the Matcha Rocky. So we'll see if we end up getting an alcoholic beverage. You know, I actually think what I'm going to do is the Eats Meets West, because that sounds really interesting with the mezcal. And shout out to all my Heffas who love a little bit of smokiness in your cocktails. I'm definitely a smoky cocktail person. With the orange liqueur, the Tongarsi, pear, lime, and Togarashi rim. That sounds really interesting, y'all. So I may actually peep that out. 19, so again, when you're talking about getting cocktails here at Disney Springs, Heffas, be prepared to spend anywhere from $15 to like $25, and that's pretty typical for a lot of restaurants just in general, but just be prepared to spend that much. And for me, I don't mind as long as the components feel like it's worth it, and that one seems interesting. All right, Heffas, and looking at the menu, and what I appreciate about Morimoto Asia is that the menu for food is actually quite focused. So y'all, I think what we're gonna do is the hot and sour soup, because I'm a hot and sour soup lover. I think we're also gonna check out this lemongrass chicken dumpling. And then y'all, this is Christmas dinner for us. So I think we're actually going to splurge and get this Peking duck, because I have heard rave things about the Peking duck here at Morimoto, and I've just never been in a position to really get it. This is only my second visit here, so I think we're going to try that. You know, I also think we're going to try out the Morimoto Boribap, because that sounds also very delicious. But we're also going to talk to our server because we do want to make sure we don't overload on the food. But since we are local here, y'all, we can easily take food home. So that's not going to be a problem. And I will also highly recommend, if you are someone that loves sashimi, Morimoto has delicious sashimi. Now it's by the piece, and again, it's going to be a little pricey. Let me show you all a little bit of a peek. We were talking about this, and initially we were like, oh, maybe we'll get some sashimi, but y'all, it's a lot of food. But you see here by the pieces. But if you are someone who is a fish lover, you will not be disappointed, because the last time I was here, got I want to say one of the pieces of sashimi. I just can't remember which kind, but it was so delicious. So yes, baby, it is expensive, y'all. This is a Christmas gift we are gifting to ourselves since we decided not to do any major shopping. And you all know how I love to plug in my videos. After what I spent during my last Costco haul, I was like, that is it, baby. I am not doing any major grocery shopping. I am just going to go out to eat, because y'all, literally, that was insane how much we spent at Costco. And I'm just like, yeah, no. I'm keeping it low key, relatively speaking, for me. And just for funsies, y'all, check out how much the whiskey flights are. Now, baby, let me tell you all something right now. $535, $375. If you all ever see me splurging on something like this, something grand happened in my life. Because your girl got a little coin, but not that kind of coin. Unless you want to subscribe, like, and share, and try to get your girl on that quick pathway to monetization. But y'all, that's a lot. So yeah, if you all ever see me get a whiskey flight here from Morimoto Asia on this channel, y'all, your girl won the lottery. Like, something insane happened, and I am ready to celebrate hard.
Great.
All right, friends, here is the Eats Miss Meets West. I am super excited to get into this mezcal-based cocktail. And then my co-producer got the 10 by 10. So you all know how we like to do things here at Java and Journeys. Cheers. Happy holidays, Heffas, and thank you for joining me on this very Christmassy Morimoto adventure. Y'all, I can't. If you love a smoky cocktail, baby, and don't play yourself, treat yourself. This is absolutely delicious, and what I like about it is that the mezcal, along with the other flavors, a part of that cocktail, everything is balanced. And that is what I appreciate about Morimoto. Y'all, I'm talking as if I come here all the time. This is only my second time here, but I noticed this even the last time. Everything has balance. And I think if you're going to be spending $15 plus on a cocktail, y'all, you want that cocktail to be hidden, because it is expensive to drink out. But for me, the cocktails, as you all know, I'm all about a good beverage. That's the whole point of my channel, as a part of that experience when you are dining out. So get something, y'all, that you know is just going to be well put together, where you don't have flavors overpowering something else, something that is just tasty and delicious, and you take that sip and you feel like, yeah, I understand why I'm giving you my coin. I don't like it, but I accept it. All right, Heffas, we have our hot and sour soup. You all see that chili oil action. Let me take you up closer. Look at that, just swimming on top, inviting us in. Y'all, I cannot wait to take a bite. And y'all, they just did it just right for us, where it's like, listen, we're just gonna give you a couple of spoons, and I'm like, yes, because I'm ready to tuck in. I do not need an extra bowl, honey. So let's go ahead and try this hot and sour soup and see if it is still as good as I remember, because if I'm not mistaken, y'all, the last time I was here, I had gotten a cup of the hot and sour soup. You get a cup or a bowl. And I remember it being absolutely delicious. So let's see if it's going to be as good as we remember it being. Again, y'all, balance. Balance is the thing. You have like the sour, you have the heat. You taste those mushrooms, the tofu, the scallions. It's just delicious, y'all. So I'm going to enjoy my hot and sour. And I'll continue to show you all our other food as it comes out. Y'all, just get into this. I just can't. I want to make sure to give you an up close and personal view, y'all. It's just so delicious. And I think especially if you're not feeling well, if you just, I'm a soup person still, so whether I'm like hot, cold, not feeling well, at my healthiest, I'm always going to get some soup. There's something comforting about a good bowl of soup. Drop it down in the comments, tell me, are you a soup person? And if so, what is your go-to soup? Or if you're not, what's your go-to comfort item? You can't go wrong with a nice bowl of hot and sour. Get into it. And like clockwork, my friends, we also have our lemongrass chicken dumplings with a little bit of dipping sauce here. So let's go ahead and get into it. You all see that steam. Thank you, co-producer. Look at my co-producer hooking me up, y'all. Just helping out where he can. Y'all, I am looking forward to this. Get into it. What y'all know about that lemongrass chicken dumpling, huh? What y'all know about that? I actually think this is the first time I'm trying a lemongrass chicken dumpling, and that's what attracted me to this. I'm like, let's try something different. Let's get into it and see if it's good. You know, that lemongrass flavor, it shines through so much. It's hot, it's yummy. I love lemongrass, y'all. This is just so tasty, and it actually kind of reminds me a lot of like Thai flavors. So if you're into lemongrass, because lemongrass is very prominent in this, y'all, I highly recommend. Look at the inside of this, y'all. Check that out. You see that? You see the vegetable, you see the lemongrass, you see the chicken, and that dipping sauce, y'all. It's such a great compliment. I absolutely cannot wait for our birdie bop and our Peking duck. It's going to be everything. I have a feeling. Friends, so we got our birdie bop, our noodles, our Peking duck. Check it all out. And if you get the birdie bop, as you all can see, they will actually prepare everything for you. And this is a yellowtail birdie bop. So I cannot wait to get into it because I definitely love me a little bit of yellowtail girl. We have our noodles here, and this came with our duck. And we actually, you can pick, y'all, whether you want tortilla wraps or bao buns. You can also pick noodles. So they have this listed on the menu, but y'all, that duck looks incredible. And we also have some lettuce cups to try to balance out everything. All right, y'all, tell me that we don't know how to hook up a plate, Heffas. We have our birdie bop here, our noodles, and a little bit of that duck with some hoisin, with some chili sauce, and a lettuce wrap. Y'all, what should we start with first? Let's tuck into this birdie bop. starting with the rice. Sometimes I like tasting like individual components, Heffas, and then trying to do like one big combined bite. But here's our rice here as a part of that booty bop. And keep in mind, that is yellow rice. So flavorful, so tasty, and you really get, if you're someone that loves bibimbap, Korean style, the veggies with the fried rice, and that like hot stone bowl. And y'all, here's our yellowtail. When I tell you all, that is like melt in your mouth goodness. Have you ever had a piece of fish that would just like dissolves in your mouth? Y'all, that is delicious. I have to get a bite with a little bit of that yellow rice and the fish. The noodles are trying to come in and play, and I'm like, hold up, girl, wait your turn. Wait your turn, girl. Christmas dinner what? Christmas dinner who? No, give me some good Asian food any day of the week. Now I'm gonna try the noodles. And again, this is a part of what came with our Peking duck. Now the noodles taste so good. And I don't want to overhype the noodles. The noodles are the noodles. What I appreciate about it is that they don't taste like stale. A nice soy sauce flavor. And last but not least, how can we not get into our delicious Peking duck lettuce wrap? That duck, y'all, melting your mouth. A little bit of like a nutty taste. When I tell you, Heffas, I'm about to throw down, I'm about to throw down. I'm gonna have to check back in with y'all later. Heffas, as I'm continuing to throw down, I want to make sure I don't deny you an up close and personal look at our duck. Do you see how that is glistening, y'all? Do you see the juices? She is not dry. She is a moisturized, honey. When I tell you this is so succulent, and again, similar with the fish, just like that melt in your mouth. And when you add the sauces, that just adds even more flavor to it. So like with that hoisin, with a little bit of that chili oil, you get like a little bit of a nuttiness, a little kick. Y'all, this is, yes, it's expensive, but I'm telling you. Sometimes, especially during the holidays, if you could do a treat yourself. We're doing this Christmas story style. I am like so happy with this, and it's okay to splurge, y'all. It's okay, because like you get a chance to have just such great memorable meals like this. Forget that traditional turkey, the dressing. Now, y'all, I love all of that, but once you already have a lot of your traditional foods, and this is more so applicable here in the US after Thanksgiving, you kind of want to do something different, right? So why not go to a place like Morimoto Asia and just switch things up and keep it interesting? I'm going to challenge you to do things differently in 2026.
Look at that.
And baby, while we're enjoying our food, my co-producer also decided to get this reconstructed Thai tea. she definitely looks like the science experiment that you want to engage with. And I cannot wait to try this out. And y'all, this Thai tea, my co-producer stirred it up a little bit. It's made with dark rum. It's a house-made Thai tea mix, y'all. This did not come from a container from someone's supermarket. Y'all, she is house-made rum goodness. Cheers. Ooh, that's nice. Y'all, I've never had any type of an alcoholic Thai tea. I'm not gonna hold you all. That tastes like holiday. A holiday cocktail, holiday in a glass. That is delicious. So if you happen to find yourself here, I'm assuming this drink is a seasonal drink, that tastes like the holidays, baby. Merry Christmas, Heffas. Friends, we have departed from Morimoto Asia. We are now in line at Gideon's. Do you all want to see what the Christmas Day line is giving? It's actually not bad at all. It's pretty much feeling like a typical weekend here at Disney Springs. So I'll show you all what that looks like, just to give you an idea. So we're lined up pretty much right outside Morimoto. And y'all, this is a very typical line. So this is probably going to take like a good, I don't know, y'all, maybe like 20 minutes. I know we've talked about this before, so I just want to make sure to emphasize to you all that if you go to Gideon's and the line is like backed up to Morimoto, it's fine, girl. I don't think I've ever waited longer than, I don't know, 30 minutes at most, maybe if that. Typically I end up waiting about 20 minutes because literally Gideon's just has cookies, cake, and cold brew. There's not much else you can get outside of that. They do have their warm cookies, sundaes, but y'all, it's all dessert over here. No disasters. And let's take a look at the menu because I wanted to give you all a peek of that. So here is the front of the December card. And then in terms of what they have, y'all, we'll definitely check out the cake slices once we get in. But the special December cookies are going to be the Kris Kringle and the Krampus. Now, the one that I'm most interested in is the Krampus, which is the dark chocolate cookie with a blast of Andes mint. But if that's not your vibe, they also have the more polite, the gentle Kris Kringle, aka our favorite Santa Claus, that is a white chocolate coffee bean cookie, y'all. And of course, they're typical cookies. And then in terms of the cold brew that they have right now is they have a Krampus cold brew that is like a chocolate mint cold brew. And y'all, they also have their varieties of natural cold brews on tap. So I wanted to give you all a little bit of an understanding of what Gideon's is serving up for the month of December, and I will check back in with you all as soon as we get inside, so that way you can see the cookie specials up close and personal, as well as the cake slices as well. All right, my friends, we are just outside the entrance, and y'all, literally, we've only been in line for like, I don't even think 15 minutes at that. So when I tell you all the line looks so much more intimidating than what it actually is, it goes by fairly fast. All right, my friends, we're back in our old stomping grounds. And again, those of y'all who have been rolling deep with me know that Gideon's literally never changes, and it is nothing but the Tim Burton vibes. But first, let's get our cake and our cookies. All right, y'all, here are a lot of the cookies here. We have chocolate chip, banana bread. Here is the Krampus cookie right here, y'all. We have the Kris Kringle cookie here, and then a pistachio toffee. Okay, y'all, we have the Valentina cake, which is this one that looks like a red velvet cake here. We also have the Kris Kringle cake version here. We have the Krampus, which is the one that also looks like a red velvet, and a peanut butter cake, and a chocolate crumb cake. Friends, I ended up getting the Kris Kringle cake and the Krampus cake to try out. And did I mention that it's pretty busy out here? Y'all, it has just been crazy. I did a walk around because, again, I am still feeling so full from our trip over at Morimoto. And I'm like, this place is just wild. So we need something to calm our nerves. How about a little bit of hot chocolate from the Ganachery? And y'all, this is literally located around the way of Gideon. So very easy. Just walk, hang a right past Gideon's, and you will see the Ganachery. Let's try. We're playing Frogger right now, so let's see if we can get through this crowd. All right, friends, we made it through. Y'all, this is just so insane. I don't recommend coming out here during the holidays. But look at that chocolate. And y'all, they have really good s'mores here as well. And if I had not already gotten the cakes from Gideon's, then I absolutely would also get the s'mores as well. But we're just gonna keep it cute and get our little hot chocolate and start making our way out of here. Cause y'all, it's insane. Look how it is in the Ganachery right now, y'all. It is busy. It's truly Christmas Day. So once again, unless you're a local like me and you just have a craving for something, you want to get out the house, or of course you're here visiting, I do not recommend coming out here unless you just absolutely have to. I am taking one for the team right now. Peep this out for the holiday season. They have the chocolate peppermint s'more, and that is a chocolate graham cracker toasted with house-made marshmallows and melted with peppermint bark. And you see them making this right here, y'all. This looks so good. My co-producer is like, you know what? I may actually get one of these. And I'm like, bro, you do you, because I literally can't eat anything else, y'all. Any of the treats that we are getting here at the Ganachery, y'all, I'm going to take home, let my food digest, and enjoy in my fluffy robe while watching some holiday films, because I think that's a great way of closing out the Christmas holiday. And we're still waiting in line, but we're gonna go ahead. We are gonna go put in an order for the peppermint s'more, but then also get that hot chocolate. While we're waiting to order, I want to point out a few of the treats. They have Mickey chocolate covered gingerbread cookies, which look super delightful. They have peppermint chocolate marshmallows here. And y'all, they have milk chocolate olaf, which is a lot of fun. And then they even have a ganache kit. So if you want to just make your own hot chocolate at home, they actually have a kit that you can take with you. And then a Toy Soldier Mickey chocolate piñata. They also have a gingerbread pecan hot toffee. I said hot toffee. A little bit of spice. It's not hot toffee, y'all. It's just gingerbread pecan toffee. So definitely a lot of good treats that you can get over here in the Ganachery. And then they also have a slew of variety of truffles. I am not the biggest truffle person. I don't mind truffles, but there's just so many different kinds, and I find that some of them are very hit and miss depending on the flavor profile. But if you love yourself some chocolate truffles, they have a bunch of them, which I'll show you as soon as we get closer to the front. All right, friends, look at all of the varieties of truffles that they have. And then here are the two sizes of the hot chocolate. You already know we're getting the larger one. All right, friends, so we just put in our order for the s'more. Now, please note that, baby, when it's busy like this, your s'more is just going to take a little while. So it could take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. They're making them in batches. So, just try to be a little bit patient. I promise you all, Heffas, you know I will not lie to you. It is worth the wait. But you know what? Like, while you're waiting, girl, get you some of this good hot chocolate. And they only have this during the holiday season. So I would say, I think, was it before Thanksgiving? Or after Thanksgiving, maybe even after Thanksgiving, y'all. They only have this for like a handful of weeks. So if you find yourself over here, again, if you love a rich hot chocolate, like that hot chocolate that Tom Hanks sings about on the Polar Express, baby, this is it. Cheers, Heffas. Y'all, this is pure chocolate, okay? This hot chocolate is not for the faint of heart, baby. This is for those true hot chocolate. It is a sipping chocolate, as a matter of fact. She is elegant. She is sophisticated. She is a silky hot chocolate that goes down so smooth. Y'all, I have to take another sip. All right, I guess I'll let you try it. Now, y'all, I'm telling you, if you're gonna go ahead and get that s'more, just get yourself a hot chocolate, chill, step over to the side, just do some good people watching. But that hot chocolate, she is everything. And yes, she is a little pricey, but I'm telling you all, it is worth it. I love getting my hot chocolate this time of year from the Ganachery. I told you, Heffa, don't play yourself. Don't come out here. And if you are a sipping chocolate lover, baby, don't come over here and not go over to the Ganachery and get yourself a hot chocolate. And the staff is super friendly. As a matter of fact, like, again, hats off to those of y'all who are working Christmas Day, trying to just give us some holiday cheer and keeping things moving. Everyone has been just so polite and friendly and truly embodying the holiday spirit. So thank you all. I just want to like shout you out because I have been there when I worked as a waitress many years ago. I pretty much worked all the holidays. So I am truly, like, in my heart, and grateful to people who work in the service industry, especially this time of the year. So don't be a jerk. Be polite and embody that holiday spirit, Heffas. Did I not get one? Y'all, this Heffa done took my hot chocolate and is going to say, oh, are you gonna stand? I'm not standing back in line, y'all. Granted, we were able to get in, and honestly, the wait wasn't too bad to just order. But if this fool thinks I'm gonna stand here and let him take my hot chocolate, he has another thing coming. We will start tussling, and then we'll get kicked out, and then we'll get banned. And I'm not. It'll be a soft tussle, okay? It'll be the tussle that doesn't leave any marks. I do not condone violence, okay? It's the holiday spirit. You know, just hit them where it's not gonna show, okay? And get what's owed to you. I'm getting my hot chocolate right now before he drinks it all. All right, y'all, and let me show you that s'more. So here she is. Y'all, look at that chocolate. Do you see that? Do you see how pretty this is? We're not even gonna try to eat this because this looks like it can get very messy very quickly. And again, I told you all, I am full. So we're gonna take this home and enjoy it. But y'all, I think we're good on all these sweet treats on this day. Friends, we are heading out of here, passing back through Raglan Row, wishing Morimoto Asia a very happy Christmas. And y'all, I didn't even get into giving just the whole experience a rating. Y'all, out of 5 Heffas, definitely a solid 4, maybe even a 4.5. Morimoto Asia is so delicious, y'all. So I highly recommend it, especially it's just like, because of how expensive it is. Again, this is only my second time going to Morimoto Asia because it is on the pricier side, y'all. But I promise you, go on a special occasion if you can swing it, if you find yourself visiting Disney Springs and you want some good Asian food, I definitely think you won't be disappointed. And of course, if you find yourself here the month of December, you gotta go to the Ganachery and check out Gideon's. Y'all, I'm telling you, sometimes these lines look more intimidating than what they actually are. But again, I do not recommend coming out here on Christmas Day unless you have all like your spiritual robe of patience. Because let me tell you, when I tell you people are so aloof, their aloofness is real and you just gotta breathe through it, Heffa. But with that being said, y'all, I hope that you had a fantastic Christmas Day. By the time this post will probably be either around New Year's or maybe afterwards. So from one Heffa to another, wishing you a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year, and I will catch you on the next journey. Bye Heffas, and Happy Holidays.